This guy actually looks like me. Like, it's not a joke.
No, it's not.
Has the Illuminati approached you about sacrificing anyone to make it happen?
All the time.
Okay.
I call it the room with the door behind it. You never get to that door. We always got through the first door, and we were so excited about being in that room that we never looked at the next door.
So I've had people throw millions of dollars in my face to do something I didn't want to do. And what? Just, you've been off, yeah. Oh, they're in the room.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Yeah.
That was my way of cueing you. Like, we can talk about anything, but
don't do it.
Yeah,
I
get to meet the actual Keen and Kel. Like, so funny. Like, made me cracking up. You probably know this, Kel, but I never even knew Kevin Hart until you told me this.
This is Kevin Hart.
He keep calling me Kel.
I know, but you're not.
He thinks I'm Kel.
You're Kevin Hart.
No, he thinks that this is Nickelodeon.
Okay, but like, I feel like calling you Kel because you literally are the Kel.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, this is Kel signing out.
In this video, I'll be exposing Kevin Hart and all of his characters, and then I'm going to expose Katt Williams and Dave Chappelle and all of his characters at the end of this video. So make sure you guys watch this video all the way through. But without further ado, let's get right into it. So as you guys can see, Kevin Hart looks very similar to Kel Mitchell. And this isn't just a coincidence. You know, some people just think that I just find people who look alike. But what those people don't understand is I have over 300 videos on this channel, and Divine Sade has over 200 videos on her channel. So that's 500 videos in total. So we've made over 500 videos exposing celebrities for being multiple characters, and yet some people still think it's just a coincidence. You know, it's obviously way deeper than that, because if two people look similar, all right, it's not a big deal. But when we have over 500 videos exposing how every single celebrity has another celebrity that they're based off of, it's not a coincidence at that point. And some people think that the connections are coincidences as well, but those are not coincidences either. Everything they do is scripted and it's purposely done. So for example, a connection with these two characters, not only do they look alike, but they even put the same two letters in the beginning of their first names. So Kevin Hart and Kel Mitchell both start with a K and an E. And here's some more comparisons of Kel Mitchell and Kevin Hart. So Kel Mitchell's real name is Kel Jahari Rice Mitchell. And Kevin Hart's real name is Kevin Darnell Hart. And of course, these two characters' names match up in gematria. So Kel Mitchell's real name equals 78, and Kevin Hart's real name equals 78 in the same cipher. And a lot of times, if you guys notice, they purposely spell their names wrong to leave like a riddle. So for example, Kevin Hart is purposely spelled wrong because the riddle is that he has the word heart in his name. And when it comes to that, that's a deeper discussion for Patreon. You know, I can't really get too deep into those topics, but just know that they are harvesting, you know, people's insides and stuff like that. So when you spell his name out with the correct spelling of the word heart, you can see that it matches up perfectly with Kel Mitchell with the number 50 in the same cipher. And then we see that Kel Mitchell was born on August 25th. And of course, Kevin equals 25 and Hart equals 25 in gematria. So these two characters are connected in many ways. But the biggest connection is the fact that Kevin Hart has been doing this show with Kenan Thompson. And as you guys know, Kel Mitchell had this show with Kenan Thompson called Good Burger. So this is a big connection because now Kel Mitchell's other character has a show with Kenan Thompson as well. And in this episode, they put this fake kid who got famous off of corn, you know, which doesn't make any sense. But this kid literally admitted that Kevin Hart is Kel Mitchell. And like I said before, kid celebrities are no different than the adult celebrities. They're created to push an agenda.
I get to meet the actual Keen and Kel. Like, so funny. Like, made me cracking up. And like, Kel, when I was seeing like a couple for an episode, I saw you and like you look like a girl.
Yeah.
You probably know this, Kel, but I never even knew Kevin Hart until you told me this.
This is Kevin Hart.
He keep calling me Kel.
I know, but you're not.
He thinks I'm Kel.
You're Kevin Hart.
No, he thinks that this is Nickelodeon and that you and I are doing a whole thing from Good Burger.
This Kevin Hart right here.
Okay, but like I really like calling you Kel because you literally are the Kel.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, this is Kel signing out.
Kel. Wasn't that funny, Kel? He was adorable.
So in that video, they blatantly admitted that Kevin Hart is Kel Mitchell. So this is irrefutable proof at this point, because if you guys haven't noticed, lately they've just been admitting who their other characters are. They're not even hiding it anymore. So I don't understand why people still have trouble believing that this is true when they're literally telling you themselves. But maybe people just like being lied to. You know, they prefer to live in a fictional reality that involves celebrities being real people. So not only is Kevin Hart one of Kel Mitchell's characters, but they also created this other character named Nate Robinson. And as you can see, he's also based off of Kel Mitchell. And as always, they even share the same gematria. As you can see, Kel Mitchell and Nate Robinson have the same gematria of 70 in the same cipher. Since Nate Robinson is based off of Kel Mitchell, it makes sense that he would also look similar to Kevin Hart because all of these characters are in the same group. So that's why Kevin Hart looks exactly like Nate Robinson in this comparison. And of course, even they have the same gematria as well. Kevin Hart and Nate Robinson both equal 38 in the same cipher. And by looking at this picture of Nate Robinson, I'm sure most of you guys can see the resemblance of him and Kevin Hart. But of course, all of these characters are mixed with multiple characters. So this is why Nate Robinson also favors 50 Cent. Because when they created Nate Robinson, they based him off of Kel Mitchell, but they also mixed in 50 Cent to give you the illusion that this is another character. But this is just a mixture of two other characters, which are 50 Cent and Kel Mitchell. This is why there's many memes online that say 50 Cent plus Kevin Hart equals Nate Robinson, because they literally mixed these two groups of characters to create Nate Robinson. Now let's talk about Kevin Hart's other character on the world stage. So this character's name is Arab Money 44, and apparently he got famous on TikTok. And like I told you guys in the past, TikTok and all of these social media apps were created as a psychological weapon. There's a reason why these apps are free, because they don't care about the money. There's many things in life that are deeper than money, and a lot of people don't realize that. But what's deeper here is that they want to control your mind psychologically. So this is why they create these apps like Instagram, TikTok, even YouTube. There's so many YouTubers that are involved. They're all created to push an agenda. You know, they create little characters like this to push agendas as well because people think they're real. But like I said, I'll go deeper into that topic in my next live stream. Me and Divine Sade will be going live very soon. But anyways, it's very obvious that this TikTok character is based off of Kevin Hart. You know, these two characters look identical. It's almost like they didn't even change anything with these two characters. You know, normally they try to change a few things here and there. But with this character, it seems like they hardly changed anything. They have all of the same exact features. Some of these are just completely undeniable. You know, with some of them, they try to have a few differences to throw you off. Like with Kel Mitchell, they gave him a different nose to try to throw people off. But at the end of the day, these characters are the same, despite what differences they try to make. And of course, these two characters also share the same gematria. So I don't know this guy's real name. All I know is that he goes by Arab Money 44. So his name equals 993. And then Kevin Hart's real name also equals 993 in the same cipher. And then like I said before, his name is Kevin Hart for a reason, because everything they do is a riddle. So when you spell Kevin Hart correctly, it matches up with Arab Money 44 again, with the number 58 in the same cipher. And I noticed that this guy's name is Arab Money 44, right? And if you notice, black people and Hispanics both share the same gematria of 44. Now, there's a deep reason why these two groups of people have the same gematria. Black people and Hispanics are actually the same type of people. They just divided us with these different labels. But in reality, if you look up Afro-Latinos, there's many Hispanics around the world who look exactly like black people. And I don't like using these words like black people and Hispanics because these are labels that they created. You know, if you pay close attention, the word black has lack in it on purpose. And then they purposely put the word panic in Hispanics. So these words are a trap. I don't identify with these words, but they purposely made it so that these words have the same gematria because they know these two groups of people are actually the same, or at least based from the same lineage of people. So this is a deeper topic for another video. But I just wanted to simplify that and bring this up because every time they use the number 44 with a black or Hispanic character, it's to target this specific group of people. And it's in plain sight. You know, this is why Hispanics and black people are both melanated. The only difference is that Hispanics have been more mixed as time went on due to many reasons. But overall, black people and Hispanics are the same, and they created these two different titles and labels to try to divide everybody. You know, divide and conquer is the main way that they get us. So I just wanted to bring that up because people really need to know this and wake up from this because they try to divide us in every way possible. But anyways, here's another comparison of Kevin Hart and this TikToker. And as you can see, Kevin Hart is doing symbolism in this picture. Here's a video where once again, they admit the truth in plain sight.
You know, Kev, I was on Twitter yesterday because I saw your name trending, so I clicked on it just to see if it was one of the jokes or something that pissed people off. But it wasn't. It was a lookalike from Zambia.
He said he stole your face.
I thought it was somebody playing with a filter on social media. I'm not gonna lie.
No, that's him. That's him. Scary.
Yeah.
That's him. That's cool. Like, you know, when people say somebody look like you, you look at them, and you're like, man, I may not be attractive. Like, I may be up in the face. And then I look like this. This guy actually looks like me. Like, it's not a joke.
No, it's not.
My brother. He looks exactly like we were birthed from the same woman. But I thought he was playing with a filter. Like,
Me
one
too.
of the things. But that's him. That's the second time I've seen it.
That's crazy.
Did you reach out to him at all? Because when you see it, like, do you hit him up and be like, yo, you really do look like me?
No, that's weird. What am I saying? That?
Now let's move on to the symbolism that Kevin Hart does. As you can see right here, he's doing the vow of silence. And this comes from an interview that he has with Kelly Clarkson. And if you notice in the video, she brought up the fact that she was offered a lot of money to push an agenda. And then Kevin Hart shushes her and tells her to stop talking about that. Check this out.
But I've had people throw millions of dollars in my face to do something I didn't want to do. And what? Just, you've been off, yeah. Oh, they're in the room.
Yeah, I don't want to. Yeah. That was my way of chewing you. Like, it's open dialogue.
Yeah, you want me to keep talking about it?
By all means, we can keep talking about anything.
But don't do it.
Yeah, no, of course.
So even though everything in that video was scripted, you know, they purposely told Kelly Clarkson to say those things so that Kevin Hart can do that. And then it creates this whole conspiracy, right? They love pushing conspiracies on people on purpose because they want people to think that celebrities are real so bad. But everything about them is fake. As you can see, Kevin Darnell Hart, which is his full name, has the same gematria as Order of Illuminati in 2 ciphers. And then Kevin Hart and Fake Passing also share the same gematria, so I wouldn't be surprised if he fakes his death or if somebody around him. Here's another picture of him doing the vow of silence. And here's another picture of him doing symbolism. Again, all of this symbolism is to let you know in plain sight that they're involved and that they're deceiving you. Here's another picture of him doing symbolism, and he mocked it in his caption. So he took this picture with Drake and Trey Songz, and he said this might be the funniest inside joke of the century. So he's letting you know that they have an inside joke. So everyone knows that Kevin Hart purposely did this humiliation ritual where he dressed up as a woman and he wore this dress. You know, they love doing this to feminize men. I talked about this in my Patreon video because they're trying to turn all men into women, and that's a very deep topic. Make sure you guys go check out that video. The link is in the description. But anyways, as you can see, Katt Williams is doing damage control by saying Kevin Hart is an industry plant. And even though he's not wrong about this, but it still is damage control because he's trying to say that everyone else is an industry plant, but he's not. But ironically, his real name matches up with industry plant. As you can see, Micah Katt Williams equals 47, just like industry plant in the same cipher. And that's because every celebrity is an industry plant. They were all created and planted in the industry to deceive you. And even the ones that appear like they're not in the industry, they're also involved and they were also planted to deceive you. And then, like I mentioned in my other video about Katt Williams, his name Katt Williams literally matches up to Freemason in 3 ciphers. So I don't understand why people still think he's real when all the hints are there. He's even doing symbolism right in your face. So if you guys want more information about Katt Williams, I have a really good video about this topic. The link is in the description. And also I made a video about Ludacris recently, so check out that video if you haven't. The link to this video is also in the description. And I bring this up because there was something I forgot to mention in that video. I forgot to mention this album cover of Ludacris. And if you notice at the top, it says Disturbing the Peace presents Ludacris Chicken and Beer. And he's literally putting salt on somebody's leg. And I can't go into detail about what he's symbolizing here, but off of context, it's very obvious to tell what he's saying. You know, many of you guys don't know this, but most of the meat that they sell at restaurants and fast food restaurants is not actually what you think it is. Like I said, I can't go into detail, but I will say this. If you ever watched the movie The Matrix, there was a very interesting scene when Morpheus was telling Neo about the Matrix. He told him that everybody is enslaved in a pod, and when they die, they feed the remains to the other people. So if you understand what I'm saying, that's what he's referencing with this picture. And again, I can't go too deep into that topic on YouTube, so I highly recommend you guys watch this Patreon video. It's an hour-long documentary that I made exposing the toxic food that they're selling nowadays and all of the toxic products that people buy, because there's many things put in place to feminize men. Now let's move on to Dave Chappelle and all of his characters. As you can see, Dave Chappelle looks exactly like Bokeem Woodbine, and even bots know that this one is true. They've put this one in our face so much that everyone just knows that this one is true. They just make many jokes out of it to try to throw people off. You know, they love making people laugh about these things so that they won't think too deeply about the deception. Because if you realize that celebrities are fake, you'll start to question this whole place that we live in, and they don't want you to do that. So this is why they make everything a joke, so that people just laugh it off and they stop questioning things. So anyways, as you can see, these two characters also share the same gematria. So both of their last names are Woodbine and Chappelle, and they both equal 42 in the same cipher. And Donnell Rawlings admitted that Dave Chappelle is Bokeem Woodbine with this post. He said, "Happy birthday, David Chappelle," but he put a picture of Bokeem Woodbine. So he's admitting the truth in plain sight. You know, it's like what I said before. They always have to admit who their other characters are. They even made this fake Bokeem Woodbine page. And this is like a fan page of Bokeem Woodbine or something. But they purposely create these fan pages as well. So don't be deceived on social media. A lot of celebrities' fan pages are actually created by them to make you think that this is a regular person who's a fan of them. You know, there's a lot of psychology that goes on with that, but they know that it works. So they created this fan page, and of course, this fan page is Bokeem Woodbine, but he's disguising himself as a fan page, and he responded to everybody exposing him. He said, "I think at this point, every single one of you that called me the evil Dave Chappelle owes me an apology." So the evil twin thing is another huge distraction that they created in the media. They love doing damage control after our videos. If you guys notice, the evil twin trend never existed before I started making these videos. It wasn't until I started exposing celebrities that they created this weird evil twin agenda. And even though they're not wrong about some of those comparisons, but they're still doing damage control by saying it's just an evil twin, because it's obviously way deeper than that. So here's another joke that they made about Dave Chappelle and Bokeem Woodbine. And the reason why people laugh, there's a quote that says, "People laugh when the truth is told too fast." Now let's get into all of the connections. So not only do these two characters look alike and have the same gematria, but they're only 4 months apart. So Dave Chappelle was born in August of 1973, and then Bokeem Woodbine was born in April of 1973. So they were both born on the same year, which means they're the same age, and they're only 4 months apart. And if you notice, they're both born on months that start with an A. And these are the only 2 months that start with an A. So that was purposely done as well. Now let's move on to the next character, which is Malcolm Barrett. Dave Chappelle looks identical to Malcolm Barrett. I have to say, out of all of Dave Chappelle's characters, Malcolm Barrett is the most obvious one. Here's a really good side-by-side comparison of Malcolm Barrett and Dave Chappelle. And if you guys remember, I exposed this 2 years ago. So if you guys haven't seen that video, I'll put a link to that video in the description. In that video, I exposed how Dave Chappelle, Malcolm Barrett, and Bokeem Woodbine are all the same. This is why they all look alike right here. And here's another good comparison of all three of them. They all have the same smile and the same eyes and the same teeth as well. I made 4 videos about this topic because Dave Chappelle's other characters kept responding. After I made the first video about Dave Chappelle, Malcolm Barrett literally responded right after. So you guys can go check that out. I forgot to put his post in this video to show you guys his response, but you guys can go to my video to see his response. But I'll try to put it on the screen right now when I'm editing. Basically, he posted a comparison of him and Dave Chappelle. He literally responded to my video and admitted the truth in plain sight.
This is my great Dave Chappelle story. It's amazing, this story. Do you guys remember the commies for the Comedy Central Awards? This was back when everybody was doing an awards show for like a year. So there was the commies, right? I go there with Luis Guzman because at the time I was working with some show called Louis that wasn't a hit. And then I see Dave Chappelle at a table, right? And he's chilling at the table. And I'm like, I don't really have anything to say to him. But everyone's always telling me I look like him. So I have to talk to him now. So I walk up and he's by a table by himself. And I'm like, hey, man. He's like, hey. I'm like, people tell me I look like you. He's like, oh, man, that's crazy. I was like, yeah. Okay. And I walk away. That's my whole experience.
Did you think that he looked like you when you saw him in person?
I get it. I was like, all right. I think I'm pretty sure we both were high. We were both excited about the times. It was the commies.
Yeah.
For goodness sake. So we're all excited to be nominated.
Now let's move on to the next character, which is Too Short. As you can see, Too Short looks very similar to Dave Chappelle. So these two characters are obviously the same as well. And Too Short has admitted in plain sight that his other character is Dave Chappelle. In his biggest song, Blow the Whistle, he literally mentions Dave Chappelle.
Houston and LA, ask Dave Chappelle.
And then in this interview, he admits that him and Dave Chappelle look alike because he said that many people confuse him for Dave Chappelle, and he just says that he's Dave Chappelle when that happens. So he's blatantly admitting that Dave Chappelle is one of his characters. He even said that when Dave Chappelle gets confused for Too Short, that Dave Chappelle also goes along with the idea of being too short.
Me and Dave have conversations. We've had like some funny nights. I remember hanging out with Dave Chappelle and Katt Williams one night. And we were in Oakland. And Katt came to Dave's show. Katt Williams came to see the show. And we all went to Dave's dressing room after the show and hung out for literally at least 3 hours, if not more. Just talking and laughing. It was funny as like just hang out with Katt Williams and Dave Chappelle, not on stage, just being himself. That was hilarious. But Dave tells me the same story I tell him. I've done it, and he said he's done it. Like literally, people have come up to me and hit me with the Dave Chappelle, and I don't say no. I'm too short. I just go along with it. Like, hey, what's up? What's going on? Just give him a good moment for Dave Chappelle. And he said he has done the same for me in return. He has actually they were like, too short. And he had to, instead of going, hey, no, I'm Dave Chappelle, he just be too short for a few minutes, give him the satisfaction, and keep it pushing. So we look out for each other like that. Like if I come across some Chappelle fans that they think they seeing him, and okay, I give it to him. Give him a hug, whatever. What's up, man? You know what I'm saying? I'm saying they're like, Dave Chappelle. I go with it.
Now let's move on to the gematria connections, because as always, these two characters match up in gematria. So Too Short's real name is Todd Anthony Shaw. Todd Anthony Shaw and Dave Chappelle have the same gematria in 2 ciphers. As you can see, Dave Chappelle equals 56, and Too Short's real name equals 65, which is 56 reversed. And then Dave Chappelle equals 241, and Too Short's real name is 214, so the 41 is reversed. So now let's get into all of the connections between all 4 of these characters, because all of their birthdays are connected. Bokeem Woodbine and Dave Chappelle were both born on the same year, 4 months apart. The next connection is the fact that Bokeem Woodbine was born on April 13th, and his other character, Malcolm Barrett, was born on April 22nd. So these two characters' birthdays are only 9 days apart. And then on top of that, Too Short is also born in April. So his birthday is only 6 days after Malcolm Barrett's birthday. What are the chances of this, you guys? All 4 of these characters' birthdays are connected, and 3 of their birthdays are all in April. This can't be a coincidence. So if you guys want more information, go watch my other 4 videos on this topic, because Malcolm Barrett responded twice and he admitted it the second time. So the link to this playlist is in the description so that you guys can watch all of my videos on this topic. Last thing I want to talk about is the fact that Dave Chappelle is not human. If you look closely at this picture, it should really disturb you because his eyes look very creepy. This is obviously a low vibrational being. This is why their face looks so demonic. And he also has 2 other characters that are young on the world stage, but I'll make a separate video about that topic. So stay tuned for that video. And that's pretty much it for the video. Dave Chappelle has pushed many agendas, so I wouldn't believe all of those theories that they make about him being replaced and all of that stuff. They love sympathizing these characters so that people think they're real and they get sad and they harvest their energy. He's not dead and replaced. They say the same thing about Kevin Hart. All of those theories were created for you to believe that they're real people. But in fact, these people are not real. They just edit their vessels as time goes on and people think that something else is happening. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to drop a like, share, subscribe, turn on post notifications, subscribe to my Patreon. The link is in the description. I recently dropped a new video on there, so go check that out. Thank you so much for your support, and I'm out.
We want to thank you. Come here. Don't sit on the bed at night. No homo. No, just don't get close to the bed. Don't get close. But it's just like, yo, we want to thank you for hosting the thing, man. It's been a pleasure. You didn't have to do it, and you did it.
No. I definitely didn't have to do it. I definitely didn't have to. First and foremost, I'm not getting in the bed. Shout out to him and what he did. I'm just gonna, if we can, let's just put the camera a little this way, just so we're not. I don't want my shot to even, I don't want it to come close to the bed, at all. Usher look like he fresh off a goddamn plane. Usher.
Fresh off the garden stage. That's my brother right here from day one. We used to wake up and, damn, pause, but like, check this out. Back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the Frosted Flakes. You know what I'm saying? Before pause was invented. You know what I'm saying? But it's my brother for real. We used to actually wrestle off of the Frosted Flakes because he used to always get up early with me. Now he's one of the richest stars in the world. And
What the f did Puff just say? Nobody's going to acknowledge this but me. Puff just said we used to wrestle over the Frosted Flakes, and we're streaming live. That was stupid. Listen, that was stupid.
Listen. We're having a good time, yo. Usher made it in the... Hey, yo.